Good afternoon, folks. This is Hunter Jackson again with Giant Recreation World, Winter Garden, Florida. Hey, I'm a day late and $1 short, but what are you gonna do? I warned you that this one was coming and I'm super excited to show it to you behind me. It's the first time that I've ever seen this unit here in person. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2026 Coachmen Cross Trail, the 20XG floor plan. This is incredible and I'm super excited to share it with you today and kind of why I think it is that way. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this review. Let's go. Guys, just wanted to jump in before we get started on the review today. This particular unit has an MSRP of about $193,000 with options. Now this one does have a lithium package in it, which I think is pretty cool. We're going to show that to you here shortly. But then the reason that I chose this RV today, a lot of you guys don't know out there that I actually full-timed in a van that I had built out in 2021. This coach here is everything that I could have ever dreamed that my van could have been. It has a special place in my heart because I can see myself traveling out on the road just like I once was. And so I'm super excited to show it to you. Knowing what I know now after selling some RVs, this is the one I would have loved to travel in. So without further ado, let's get into this review. Let's go. Alrighty folks, let's get rocking and rolling on the front end on the 2026 Coachmen Cross Trail 20CB. Check this bad boy out. Let's get rolling here on the front of the coach because there's a couple things that are different about this than some that may be coming off the line. Now this one is going to be on a Ford Transit chassis with a 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine. Plenty of power, and I actually really enjoy the Ford Transit chassis. It's a very quiet motor, but you've got all the torque that you need to get up to speed on the highway here. Now moving down below, this one does have a package on it that's going to give you these blacked out rims here in the front. Now these are aluminum rims. And then moving up to the bumper area, we do have a nice cattle guard with an LED bar built in, and it does brighten up the place quite a bit. I was driving this around in the dusk yesterday evening. And moving down the side of the coach, two more things that we want to talk about very quickly. So we do have these steel running boards directly below where the passenger and the driver's doors are. This is also going to be an all-wheel drive unit, which is going to help you get out of those tough spots. I may or may not have gotten stuck in Louisiana once. But then working our way onto the actual side of the coach, check this out. They've done a very good job with the design. We've got some orange accents going on with the decals here, a gray gel color infused fiberglass with a gel coat on the exterior. There we go, words are working again. But then working our way up the coach here, this is a really cool feature. So we don't have an outside kitchen necessarily, but we have a very small storage compartment that fits this gray stone griddle top very comfortably. Directly below here, we're going to have a propane spot with a nice large propane tank going on. As you can see, we do have a solar on the side plug. Now this particular unit does come with some solar on the roof already, and I showed those in those drone shots just a little bit ago. But these solar on the side plugs can be really nice if you're underneath a tree. You can take your solar panels all the way out away from the tree and continue to charge your coach if you're wanting to do some of that off-grid, which this is capable of because it has a lithium battery. Now moving over to the side here, we do have an outside TV connection port, our outside 110s. This is going to be a dually here in the rear, which is how the 3500 Transit chassis comes, with these dual rear wheels. And this is another thing that's going to help with some stability going down the road. Like with all Coachmen products, we are going to be rocking an aluminum frame with our Asdel backer on both the outside and the inside. And then finally, before we get to our storage here, we've got a nice outside spray port. So We've got all the pieces of the outside kitchen, less the fridge, but we can actually really assemble a nice little space below this legless awning, which I've got all the way out for you here today. But then one of the biggest features on this coach is going to be the massive amount of storage that we have here in the rear. Now this particular unit does have a bed that's on a televator up above, but check out the size of the storage compartment. It's probably every bit of 3 feet tall, maybe 3.5 by 3 feet wide, very large. And as we move to the rear of the coach, we've got another compartment door, making it very easy to get things that are maybe not right towards the front there. I probably should have left that compartment down because now I'm going to struggle to show you the cameras going on. So there is a rear camera up here. There are also 2 side cameras. So for a coach that's probably, let's call it maybe 25 feet or so tip to tail, you do get a 3 camera setup, which is a nice feature to have. They've also included their Lipper on-the-go ladder prep here at the top, so you can grab an external ladder, hook it in there, and they're gonna go beyond the roof line, making it easier to get on and off the roof. Here on the rear of the coach, we do have some LED tail lights. Now this isn't a new feature for 2026, but it's a nice thing to see. And then moving you down here, we do have a nice receiver hitch capable of towing up to 4,000 pounds is what the hitch says, but you'll want to look at your vehicle's GVWR / how much cargo that you have on board before you start pulling things with this unit. Moving off to the side, very briefly, we do have a 4-inch steel stinky slinky holder / bumper. And then moving you here to the back side, you can see we do actually get full pass-through storage here. Whoa! Full pass-through storage here. And you can fit a ton of stuff in here. I mean, you could fit another bed down here if you wanted to make this a bunk setup, which would be really cool. They have included some nice tie-down slots that go on these rails, both on the left and on the right here. And as stated on the side, the max capacity for cargo here in the back is 350 pounds. So you don't want to get too crazy and put a Harley motorcycle in here, but you can put a few e-bikes, totes, all the things you're going to need to bring camping, external fireplaces. I could go on and on and on. Moving you down below, this is going to have a single exit for your sewer. So on the left-hand side, we've got a black handle, and on the back-hand side, we've got our gray handle there. And that blue line hanging down below is probably a freshwater drain port / a low point drain valve. Moving over to the side, really like Coachmen because they do this. They keep all of your water things right and tight together, so you only need to run one hose going into the unit. We've got our tank flush up above, city water connection to the left-hand side, as well as our freshwater hookup to fill your onboard tanks. Moving you down the side of the coach, we do have our furnace exhaust, not too exciting. An on-demand hot water heater, unlimited hot showers as long as you have water, very exciting. And then this unit is a 30 amp coach, so if you want to be plugged into shore power, this is where you would do it at. Moving you back a little bit, I believe we are going to discover a nice storage compartment down here. Now this is going to be metal lined, and if it were me, I would probably end up drawing a little hole there in the bottom so I could spray it out nice and easy peasy. And then the one right in front of it here is going to be our generator. So while it has a lithium system, which is really cool, you do have backup power on a generator. It's a 4,000 watt generator with flex power. However, this one is going to be hooked up over to the gas line on the unit. Briefly, this is where those side cameras are located. And we didn't talk about it, but it does have a fiberglass molded front cap here, which is going to help prevent any water intrusion. We do have a small seam line right here where the door meets. But check it out. The front end looks very sharp, and let's get you one more look on the 2026 Coachmen Cross Trail 20 CB. All right, and working our way inside, getting your first looks on the new Cross Trail 20CB. Check this out. Right before I get into the door here, this is our EcoFlow control panel where it'll show all of our levels, how quickly we're charging, whether we're using DC, AC power, how much input's coming in. You do have inputs from the generator, the chassis itself, or the solar. And then moving you up above, very typical control panel in here, interior lights, patio lights, water pump, tank heaters, very nice, gas water heater switch, and then our awning controls down here below. But actually working our way inside the coach, check this out. For 1 or 2 travelers, this is absolutely perfect in my opinion. Let me go ahead and swing us around. We'll start from the front of the coach here. But on the Ford Transit engine or platform chassis, this is a very, very well designed. We've got a massive screen up here in the front with our wireless CarPlay / Android Auto. They've included a separate screen up above for all of your cameras, so it's not bouncing between the 2 screens. You've always got dedicated cameras because you can't see out the back of the coach. With the Ford Transit chassis, you are going to get your lane keep assist as well as our adaptive cruise control. Very, very cool stuff. And then overall, it's just a comfortable ride. Both of these chairs here can swivel around should you need them to. You're right up next to the windows here. Lots and lots of views going on as you're making your way around the country. This is pretty neat. Moving you up above, this is going to be where your TV is located. Really like seeing a Samsung branded TV in an RV. Most of the time they're fairly cheap TVs. This is actually going to be something of some really good quality. We do have an additional HDMI port up here that would be plugged in to the TV area. And then spinning you around, let's go ahead and take a look at this dinette. Now this dinette's a very classic style RV dinette where these 2 posts here can remove. This portion will drop and hang on these little slots here, and then you rearrange the cushion for the actual bed size. They have included a window right next to it. Nice feature to have. Now on these windows, this is pretty neat. So they've got their bug screen / day shade here. You can slide that one over, and then a full blackout shade going on. This one on the right is going to be your emergency window, and this one over here on the left-hand side is what we refer to as Florida windows, meaning you can open these up. Let me see here. One of these ways. I'm not gonna force something that doesn't want to go right now, but these will crack open at an angle. You can leave them open during the rainstorm. Moving you up above, they're going to have some airplane style cabinetry / storage up here. So let's go ahead and give it a good pull. They've got these little latches on the bottom side that feel like rollers that will release the mechanism here. And they've done a very, very good job with storage. They've even given you a small lip here over on the side. They didn't pass it through, which I think is an interesting choice, but it will help keep everything from rolling to that side of the RV when you're going that way. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and pop these down into place. And then spinning you right around is going to be where our kitchen is located here. Couple of neat features going on. So we've got a smaller sink, but I can see that we've used the space as best we can, so I'm okay with it. Over off to the side here, we do have a countertop extension, which will be very helpful during prep on a unit like this. They've given you a 2-burner induction cooktop. Very, very neat. All of this can run off of the large EcoFlow battery that's rocking on this coach. Down below, plenty of storage. As you can see, I've got my camera equipment in here. Same story over here on the right hand side. This one has a drawer that pulls almost all the way out. And down below these 2 slots here, we've got additional storage rocking here. And on the back side of this one is going to be where that outside stove is located. Another small feature, but worth pointing out, Coachmen doesn't bring their cabinets all the way to the front, giving your feet a little bit of space so that if you're doing dishes, you don't feel like you're leaning over super, super hard. Moving you up above here, we've got some pantry storage, and actually nice and tall, probably every bit 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet. It looks like almost a perfect cube to myself. Moving you off to the side, We do have a microwave oven that is also an air fryer / convection, so you can bake potatoes and popcorn all in the same spot. They've added in these pretty cool little magnetic strips, but as you can see, whatever this brand is here, you can buy different attachments to put spices or utensils against that, keeping things up and off your countertop space. Now, moving you down a little bit, this may be something that people are not a huge fan of, and that's the size of the fridge. I think it's appropriate for the unit of this size. Definitely bigger than the fridge that I was rocking back in the day. Up above here too, mine did not have this. We've got a separate freezer storage. Not very big, however, you can put popsicles, meats, things that you want to keep a little bit longer. If you find in one state and you want to take it to the next state, you got that option. Directly across from the refrigerator here is going to be where our pantry storage is located. Nice deep pantry going on here, probably again 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet or so deep, and there are 3 different levels rocking in here. Let me show you that real quick. And below this one, another storage compartment, very similar to the one up above. Nice and deep cabinetry here. And working our way towards the rear of the coach, I don't mind split baths. I know that that can maybe split the audience out there, but I think a split bath is the way to go on a unit like this because you can get a much larger shower. Now we've got some goodies going on in here, but let me go ahead and spin you around so you can get a general idea of how well I fit in a shower, even with stuff in here. So just enough height above my head, maybe another inch or so, about 6'2" with the shoes on. And then we've got a non-upgraded nozzle. I can live with it. But this looks like about a 24 by 30 inch shower. We'll put the exact measurements up on the screen. But directly across from your shower area here, we've got controls for our AC / furnace. We've got our on-demand hot water heater controls, and I'm going to count that close enough to the shower that I'm going to give it the pass. And then opening up the door over here, full-on little bathroom rocking and rolling. This is nice if you're traveling as a couple and somebody's using the restroom, somebody else can also be taking a shower. They've included a sink in the bathroom. Nice feature. You don't have to brush your teeth in the kitchen sink. Moving you down below, you do have a couple additional spots for toilet paper, cleaning supplies, things of that nature. We've got our GFCI switch, which I believe all of these outlets are on GFIs. We do get hanging closet space. I know you guys were waiting for it, and this is probably every bit 2 feet or so across. This is plenty to be able to hang some of your clothes. You're going to put some others folded up nicely. And then across from there, while there's not a medicine cabinet, they have given you a spot to keep some toothpaste, toothbrushes. They kind of messed up. They should have put a lip right here, but it's okay. We can fix that aftermarket. And then swinging you over back to the bed area, check this out. So we've got a decent sized bed up here. Looks to be about a full-size bed. We'll see if we can get some specs on the screen, but I didn't see anything online before filming this here today. They have included our USB-A, USB-Cs. We've got a light switch here for the rear. And then this is going to be our bed mechanism. And I want to show you quickly kind of this bed going all the way up and how much storage space that you get. Alright, let me show you just how easy this is. Once you get the key into place here, hit this top button. It's going to bring your bed all the way up to the roof line here. It was in the down position before as far as it goes. Now we're all the way up, and check out the storage here in the back. Let me spin the camera around to give you some perspective. I am standing with my feet straight and almost straight up. I mean, we get a massive amount of storage in here. Check all this out. They've also included a couple more power outlets down here below and this beautiful LED light strip that helps illuminate all of the things in your storage compartment. But let me give you kind of a gauge too. I know a lot of gauges and ideas, but a gauge on how big this bed is once you get up on there. All right, meeting you up on the bed. This is actually a very comfortable mattress. That was my first impression. Second is actually with even 2 people in here, you've got enough space. My feet are not touching the end here. Close, but not touching. Same with the head, so it's 6'2", plenty of length going on within the bed. And as long as you're traveling with somebody that you're very comfortable with, they have, I mean, I'm not taking up even half of the bed right now, so they've got plenty of space as well. Last thing that I want to talk about though is going to be this upgraded max air fan up above here. This is going to help really circulate the air if you're wanting to go off grid. Now your solar system is capable of running the AC in here, however, not indefinitely. I would recommend probably a couple hours before bed and then keeping the fan on to keep the air circulating, but that'll work out just fine for you. Let me go ahead and hop down and move you back towards the front of the coach here. This is a very well designed unit. Genuinely curious on your guys' input. Was this something that you would travel in down the road? It's probably a unique situation for somebody that wants to do the van life, but for me, this is really getting the gears spinning on if I want to keep working or maybe I just go travel the rest of my life. Let me know. Alrighty, and jokes aside, thank you so much to everybody that ended up clicking on this video today. I do apologize for going out about a day late or so, but I wanted to spend enough time to talk about this one. This is a very cool unit to me. I think that it fits a lot of people out there, especially in the Western market. It seems like the van life is really huge, but like I asked before, if genuinely curious, what are your thoughts on this particular floor plan? Do you think they missed anything? Would you have preferred a couch here instead of a dinette? These are all questions to be asked. So again, thank you so much for watching the video. If you would please like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. The channel is continuing to grow and I can't thank you enough. I've got another one coming for you next Friday, and this is Hunter with Giant Recreation World. Later.